Staying in Papua New Guinea, the opposition has failed to file a motion for a vote of no confidence in Prime Minister James Marape. It's the fourth attempt to unseat Mr Marape since February this year. The opposition's next chance will be in early September, after MPs voted on Wednesday to end the current session early. Our correspondent in PNG, Scott Whitey, spoke to Don Wiseman about the Speaker's ruling that the opposition's motion was incorrectly filed.
Looking at it from the outside, the opposition is frustrated over this. And yesterday it showed in Parliament when there was this uproar after the Speaker tried to explain that there were technicalities around the notice that was given to the Private Business Committee to deliberate on. Now it boiled down to the names, the official names of the members of Parliament. According to the Speaker, the surname had to come after the first name. Some of them had their names listed, especially one Western Province MP, Maso Hewabo. Now, he's argued that the name that he submitted for the writ during the elections was Hewabo Maso. And that's also brought out the names of others, and the Speaker was trying to clarify that. That frustrated a lot of opposition MPs who felt that that issue could have been brought up during the first time when they submitted the notice of motion.
Well, Job Pomat has said he'll get legal advice on this, and if he's shown to be wrong, he'll resign.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting few hours seeing Job Pomat go to court. And it's a matter of interpretation again, with the Speaker saying, this is my interpretation, and I will go to court to get the court's interpretation. Now, we've seen that done before in other scenarios similar to this with Don Pollier and Peter O'Neill. So it'll be interesting to see what the outcome is when court deliberates on it.
Yes, now, there was a vote to end the session and to resume in September, and there was very little opposition to that. Now, would that indicate that the opposition actually didn't have the numbers anyway?
I wouldn't know. They seem very confident that they would have the numbers. It gives them, a lot of people are saying it gives them time to deliberate. Between now and September, it gives a lot of time for the government to maneuver and coax the members of Parliament who are in opposition to return to government. So it's all that dynamic at play, and it just gives the government enough time to work again, and the opposition also.
Yet, PNG is a country that's racked with issues that need to be dealt with promptly, yet this session now, and the session back in February, and I guess the session that's coming up in September, they're all being dominated by this threat of a vote of no confidence. Their priorities are all wrong, aren't they?
Yeah, a few MPs have come out and said that. And as I said previously, the Speaker was disappointed in relation to Enga, that attention had shifted from Enga to the vote of no confidence in a space of a few hours. And again, you can see on social media as well, a lot of attention is on the vote of no confidence. They're talking about the economy and all that. But there's a lot of discussion around the entertainment factor of Parliament and the vote of no confidence without consideration of the real issues.
The opposition had, as you say, they'd been talking about law and order and the various other issues facing the country. Do you think that they would have made that much difference anyway? They were essentially made up of largely members who had been in the government until just a few weeks ago.
Look, we've seen from past experience a change in government through a vote of no confidence doesn't necessarily mean the problems will get solved. And we've seen that with the change in government from Peter O'Neill to James Marape. James Marape was the deputy at the time who moved over. And there were a lot of promises made about fixing the problems that Papua New Guinea has. Now, those are the same problems that are being taken up by the opposition, and we're calling for a change of government again. So between 2024 and 2027, there's not enough time to implement everything. It will have to take another term after the elections to actually, if they have the political will and the stamina to cause change and implement change. One of the key points that was brought about during the Parliament yesterday was a key point by Belden Nama, member for Vanimo Green, about the enforcement of laws. He basically said that while we're able to pass legislation, the enforcement is weak, and that's one of the key issues facing every government. Legislations are done, policies are done, but implementation and the enforcement is lacking.